Hello everyone, welcome to another video. The time has come, the reactions have started. Today I'm going to be reacting to episode 1 of the Next Step series 8. If you can tell, I've got no makeup on. I'm wearing my, what's it called, you know those massive hoodies that keep you really warm? I can't remember the actual name of it, but I'm wearing that. It's currently 8 o'clock in the morning because I have got a lot of videos to watch. I'm going to try and watch as many episodes of The Next Step as I can today. Yesterday I watched episode 2, Monday I watched episode 1, and I'm going to try and watch as many as I can and film as many videos today so I can start editing them and getting them out, because I realise some people have already finished the first half of series 8 and I'm trying to avoid spoilers like the plague, honestly. People keep commenting them as well, like on my post, like, oh, what did you think when this happened? And I'm like, I didn't know that happened. But today I'm going to be giving you a little review of episode 1 because I watched it on Monday live with Brea, Katie, Ben and Noah. We watched it on TikTok. We got 75,000 likes on the TikTok live, which is amazing. And it was really fun. But obviously because we were just watching it, we didn't really have time to actually, well, I didn't have time to react to it the same way that I usually do. So I'm going to do that right now and just basically give you a review. I'll insert clips as and when and just talk you through my thoughts so that next I can upload episode 2, then episode 3, and they're all there basically. Okay, so first of all, the camera quality this season is impeccable. I absolutely love it. It just feels so nice, and just tiny touches like the blurred backgrounds and the crisp image, it just makes it feel so like it had to step up, and the lighting's kind of not darker but more, I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. So that's something I'm looking forward to for the whole of the series. The opening dance, let's talk about that because that started the episode off. It was brilliant. I really liked it. I liked the song in particular. The dance I feel could have been better in certain places. However, if there is an extended dance that's released, though, my issues might be demolished because, for example, I wish the couples had more solo sections. So I was really excited to see what Piper would be doing in this opening dance, and she didn't really do much because she just did a bit with Finn. But I did really like when Piper held, damn, my ballet knowledge. It's not a passe, is it? Is it a passe? Oh, I can't remember. Someone tell me, please. She pointed her knee out and she held it. It was just very pretty. I really liked that. But yeah, in the extended version, they might have done a solo each, so I don't know. It was sad for me to hear that Henry and Amy had split up.
Henry moved away, and instead of staying together long distance, we decided to part ways. He taught me to always treasure the moment, and now that I'm back, I'm gonna make every moment count.
Which is what Amy said, because I'm sure in the off season it was just like, oh, Henry's moved away, how am I feeling about that? They didn't say they'd broken up. And it's sad to hear they've split up because that now leaves Amy single, and we know what happens when Amy's single. She usually has a plot that surrounds relationships, but I'm hoping season 8 will be boy-free, just like she said in the White Wall trailer, I think. But who knows, honestly, I don't know. So I kind of wish they had just stayed together, and then in our minds we can be like, forever, Amy and Henry got their own game. Speaking of Amy, Amy's talking heads was stunning. I love Shelby's blonde hair, it really suits her and she just looked absolutely beautiful. Rochelle's ponytail was also stunning. That's my favourite look for Rochelle. It's the ponytail in the blue crop top. Kenzie as well, I thought, is bringing something completely new to this season. It's like a new energy and a new confidence. It's just really exciting. She feels like she's there to be the Kens again. Season 7, it felt like she was the background dancer, as I said. But yeah, no, it feels really different for Kenzie this season. Then at the end of the group dance, now this is the group dance, right, that I thought was the 24-person group dance. I was so excited for it. I was disappointed that B Troop didn't dance set choreo with A Troop. I would have really liked it if when they walked in, they kind of did their looks to each other and then got in formation and they all repeated the same 8 count that they did earlier in the dance. That would have been nice and simple. They wouldn't have to create a new choreo to accommodate the 24 people. Just literally everyone learns this one section and then they all do it together, rather than them all just cheering and having fun, because they could have done that at the end instead of unnaturally holding the ending positions for about 10 seconds. So walk in, stare, dance all together, be absolutely incredible. They would kill it, and then they do their whoop whoop cannonball. thing at the end. But then a question that came into my mind when I was watching it, but also myself and Jacob, my fiance, were discussing it yesterday. We don't know what's like the position of the studio now. What's the structure? Are they still paying to join the next step? Because remember back in season 1, Chloe couldn't afford the sessions, she couldn't afford the costumes or the comp fees, but because there's no teacher now, there's no choreographer, there's just a studio head who's organising things for them to do. There's no like, I'm very unsure what the structure is, whether they're paying, do they have fees, do they come after school, do they go during the day? I feel like that's very up in the air, and I would really like it to be set out in stone what is going on, but I feel like it's never going to be, so I'm not gonna stay on it for too long. Honestly, it's been an issue forever, I think, like with what's happening. I just really love it if there was set choreographers for the studio, and yeah, set timetables even. I don't know. And then obviously we came to the part of the episode where Nick says 5 dancers from B Troop and 5 dancers from A Troop are going to battle. Whoever wins the most battles, their team goes to nationals. That's how they'll decide who goes. The 5 dancers I would have chosen personally. From B Troop, I would have had Izzy, Ethan, Cleo, Maya, and Presley. We haven't seen Jude compete since season 7, really, when it was the alternate auditions. I know she's stepped it up and a year has passed, whatever, they're friends now, but I feel like for reliability, I wouldn't choose Jude to do a battle to decide who's going to nationals. I wouldn't have picked Jude personally. I would have picked Izzy because I think Izzy's energy is unstoppable. Ethan is fire embodied in a human being, and he brings so much sass to every single dance. He definitely would have been able to make them uncomfortable and make them worry, like, am I good enough? He would have had the intimidation factor. Cleo was dance captain of B Troop, so she kind of has a shoe-in for wanting to compete, and I would have had her compete even if she wasn't B Troop dance captain, because I think she also does bring something else. Maya, I think, also has great energy, and she's a different style of dancer. She's more similar to Ethan, so it's more well-rounded there. You've got some hip-hop, some contemporary, some jazz. I would have put Maya forward personally, and I would have had Presley because she's acro. Then from A Troop, I would have had Rochelle, Kingston, Summer, Piper, and Heath. So actually the only one out of those who competed was Rochelle, and Summer, who kind of didn't compete. I would have had Rochelle for obvious reasons. She's dance captain and also brings 100%. Kingston, I think, is so underrated, and he can flip so high. He's obviously got great moves. He's also a very good, well-rounded dancer in multiple styles, so he'd be a great person to put forward to be against anyone that B Troop chooses. Summer, I also, based on like previous dances that she's done, she's also very well-rounded, and she steps it up as well when she needs to compete, which I love. Piper is one of my faves, and she's also a dark horse. I think she's definitely a dark horse of the team. She's quite reserved within herself, and she has obviously her comfort zone, which is more contemporary, lyrical jazz, her turns and her leaps, but she can bring it when she needs to bring it, and when she's having fun, when she's doing hip-hop, she surprises everyone. So I think that would be a great thing to put forward for a battle, especially if she was suddenly pitted against Ethan, who's so full of sass, and Piper's just not that kind of person. She would have turned it on, I think. And then Heath, for the same reason as Kingston. I think, like, my first thought was his alternate audition when he just zoomed across the room. I think he'd be absolutely insane in a battle. I liked how Nick was taking charge, and he didn't seem anxious at all. Even when Kenzie asked him, like, what's going on, he was confident. So I can tell Nick's kind of had some development too, and he's more comfortable in his role. Okay, so Rochelle's control is absolutely insane. I loved Presley's fire when she came out and knew she had to step it up because she was against Rochelle. Her sass and aggression, and actually the sass and aggression from every single person that competed was great. I loved it. It felt very mature as well, especially some of the moves they were doing. Like Kenzie was like on the edge of, is this a teen show or a kid's show? Because I was like, Kenzie might want to reel it in a little bit there. With Finn's audition, his shoe genuinely made me laugh. I felt that was a very natural thing, and I feel like it would have been done so differently in season 7. In season 7, it would have been camera pan to the shoe, and then everyone's talking heads. Oh my god! And I was discussing this on Discord. Piper would definitely have a talking head saying, how could Finn do this to us? How can he do this to me? The team, all of us want to go to nationals. He couldn't even tie his shoe up. Oh my gosh, I should have told him to tie my shoes. It wasn't even like that. It was just like, oh, Finn, great. And they just moved on straight away. And that's how it would be in real life. So I loved that. But I did feel like Finn didn't bring 100% because I know he can do better than that. But it kind of linked with the fact that he didn't really want to compete against Jude. His heart wasn't fully in it. Jude, though, stepped it up. I really liked Jude. And I kind of felt something between Jude and Finn. I don't know why. I would really like to see them develop a friendship because I can kind of see them having a lot of chemistry together and just being great at bouncing off one another's personalities. So, yeah, Finn and Jude. Kind of like them. Kenzie came for Pete, okay? The points, the hip actions towards him, I was like, damn, Kenzie is here. She's not playing around. Pete faking his back tuck, I presume that's what he was faking, had me. Even when we were watching it live, I was like, damn, that was good, Ben. I love Pete's charisma as always. And it would have been a draw for me between Kenzie and Pete, so I didn't mind who won either way. Izzy is mad. That's all I've put. Izzy is great. I love how natural Izzy's moves are as well. They just flow. And it's like, Izzy's not even trying when they dance, and it's just great. I love it. Ozzy, on the other hand, I don't think should have started with turns. Should have gone into it with a big, bold move. And yeah, it wasn't on the same level as Izzy, but likewise with Finn, his heart wasn't fully in it, so I would have given the win to Izzy as well. In Series 7, I feel like those are the kind of solos they do, but they would have all claimed to be doing 100% and would have been in it, because it wouldn't have been up to par with what they showed. Whereas this series, it felt believable that they were trying, but they weren't really trying. It feels like a completely different league so far. I mean, we're only on episode 2. Well, I'm only on episode 2, but it feels the maturity levels are completely different. The cheesiness has kind of gone for me. Then obviously we had Summer and Cleo, and I just wish Summer had danced because it reminded me a lot of Series 3 when James didn't dance because he wanted to protect Riley, and we know how that turned out. Like, likewise, I wish James had just stuck to the deal. But I wish Summer had just told Rochelle when they were discussing it as a troop, like, I don't know if I want to do this, can you pick someone else? And then even if Rochelle was like, no, I'm choosing you, that would have then showed, Rochelle should have listened to Summer because she told her she wasn't in it. But the fact she didn't tell anyone, even when she had 5 minutes out, like, I feel like she did let down the team there. So especially because at this moment in time, Summer thinks all of A-Troop want to go to nationals apart from her. And she's just let them all down and just like they can't go anymore because she messed up. That's not fair on them. So she really, it wasn't a great decision there. And I agreed with Cleo that B-Troop needed to feel like they earned it because A-Troop could have just turned around and said, oh, we want to go now, just like they did at the end of season 7. So then the conversation in the locker room that A-Troop had, I wish had happened earlier. I wish they'd kind of discussed it between themselves, the idea of going to nationals. But I get that at the time they did want to go, and it wasn't until they did the battles against B-Troop and saw how excited they were that they realised, this maybe isn't for us, maybe we should focus on something else. So it didn't matter to me that much. It's just like, with hindsight, they should have maybe discussed it beforehand. Summer's solo was choreographed by Sage herself. I really, really liked it. I love how Not a Kid Anymore was used for Summer. It was the remix version, and it just came full circle. And in particular, I loved the use of the flashbacks and how Summer was reflecting on her past season 7 self and how she said it felt like a completely different person. That wasn't her. She wished she hadn't done that because it felt like a nod to the writing, not just to Summer saying, oh, I was different then. It felt like she was saying, the way my character was written in series 7 is not how my character in season 6 would have acted whatsoever. It felt like it took a complete U-turn because I liked B-Troop, then I didn't like B-Troop so suddenly. It felt like, this was rounding Summer's character development off nicely before she left, and it was a reflection. It made me actually like Summer again. It made me emotional. Yeah, it did. When she was crying and she was saying that it's time for her to move on, I felt sorry for Summer as a character because I feel like she really was treated not great. She wasn't written great at the end of season 7, and I wish it had been better for her. And Rochelle not jumping down Summer's throat and saying, like, what, how could you do this to me? And when it's gone really dark. The clouds have gone in, sorry. And when A-Troop were like, oh, we don't know whether we want to go to nationals, Rochelle didn't jump down their throats. She just did a vote and she was like, okay, we need to act upon this. The growth for Rochelle, I love it. It was just, I feel like Rochelle is going to be great this series. Like, I don't dislike Rochelle so far. And I've never really liked Rochelle in Series 7 or Series 6. She also had to grow on me. It was more the nostalgia of her character that I liked than the actual personality. So, yeah, I really like Series 8 so far based on Episode 1. But those are all my thoughts that I had from the episode. I want you to let me know down below what you thought of Episode 1 and Episode 1 only, because I will be uploading my reaction to Episode 2, and that is a reaction video. I watched it as I spoke to the camera, and then I will keep on going. I'm about to watch Episode 3 right now, and probably 4 as well, and those videos will just be out whenever I can edit them. But I have really high hopes for episode 8, Series 8, and I hope you have enjoyed it or are enjoying it. The second half of Series 8, I believe, will be out around November time, but I don't know. I know that that is the case. It's theorized for YTV, which is in Canada, where that's airing, and because we've already got the first half of Series 8 on iPlayer in the UK, I presume it'll just be a case of uploading it when it's ready. So I'm thinking November, but I don't know for certain, and I don't know for other countries. I'm sorry. Australia, maybe look out for it next year, though. You didn't hear it from me. So yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.